Welcome to Campus Chat, a look at the people, the opportunities, programs, and happenings at Western Nevada College. Campus Chat is made possible by the Western Nevada College Foundation.
Good morning and welcome to Campus Chat. My name is Helene Jesse, and this is the show about Western Nevada College, its people and its programs. And with baseball season right around the corner, we're going to be talking about athletics and the Wildcats baseball team. And joining me on the screen to your far right is John Kinkella, Dean of Student Services. He's also our athletic director. And in the center is Coach DJ Whittemore, head coach of our baseball program. And you had a big day yesterday. Oh, well, it won't be yesterday for those of you watching, but just, some day last month. Big day.
Yeah, it sure was.
So tell us a little bit about it. What happened?
Yesterday was all about the players and a lot of hard work on their behalf being rewarded. And it was a big day for the program as well because it was the largest number of individual players that have been given Division I scholarships at any one time. So yesterday we had 5 players sign Division I scholarship. Brian Barnett from McQueen High School signed with the University of Nevada. So that's awesome.
I
think
great.
that was the design of the program, is to give local kids a chance to develop academically and athletically and then move on and help Nevada University and help their athletic departments and programs. So we're really proud of Brian. And Brian was the Scenic West Conference Player of the Year last year. So his scholarship was well earned.
Yeah, he can hit the ball too. Yeah. That guy can hit.
Yeah, he had 5 different single-season records for us last year, including home runs and RBIs and runs scored. So, yeah.
Is he going to be playing left field or right field?
A little both.
A little both?
Yeah, it depends on some other personnel. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's the second player?
Well, Logan Odom is from Medford, Oregon, and he signed with the University of Southern California.
Wow.
And
Trojans.
That's quite an honor for him, both in terms of baseball and academics. He's going to get a $200,000 degree for about $60,000. So that's quite a scholarship that he received.
Amazing.
And quite an opportunity for him for the rest of his life, just being connected to that alumni and to have a chance to play in the most storied program in the history of college baseball. Really an awesome opportunity. I think the Trojans have won 12 national championships. So
12 national championships.
Yeah. And Josh Moody, a pitcher from Phoenix, Arizona, signed with Arizona State University, and Arizona State spent about 2/3 of last season ranked number 1 in the country and played 20 games before they even lost a game. They lost in the Super Regionals to Fresno State, who went on to win the national championship. But they finished in the top 10 in the country and have done that several times in the last few years.
Is he the number 1 pitcher this year, or is Derek?
Well, I think that it depends on which one of them you ask.
Yeah.
I hope Josh wants to be the number 1 pitcher. I'm assuming he does. It's identified in today's paper, and Josh is so humble that I didn't know it, but he got offered $70,000 last summer to turn professional with Atlanta Braves and turn that opportunity down to come back and pitch for us. So,
wow, that's great.
That says a lot.
Yeah, that says a lot.
He's got a lot of loyalty, and he's just hard-working, tough, smart. I mean, he's just a great teammate. We love having Josh. So, but Kyle Sterrett was our number 1 pitcher last year, and I think that he's got his eyes on keeping that job. And Kyle signed with Texas Christian University in Fort Worth, Texas, and that's a great institution academically and baseball. Coach Schlossernagel, since he's been there, has been either the regular season or postseason champions for the last 4 consecutive years. So Kyle's going to a great program as well.
That's great.
Jerome Pena, who's actually Kyle and Josh's roommate, also signed with Texas Christian. And Jerome's from Cave Creek, Arizona. And Jerome could end up catching for us last year. He played right field. But he's a versatile player that's played shortstop, outfield, center field, catcher, all over the place for us. And he's a switch hitter too. So he's a great player as well. And those are the 5 players that signed Division I scholarships. And Marshall Kinnebrew, who's from Las Vegas, and Henderson Green Valley High School, signed with Point Loma, which is an excellent academic institution in San Diego. Beautiful campus and beautiful field. So we're proud of him as well.
Yeah, that's great. So, John, listening to this, you're the athletic director, you're the dean of students. What does athletics mean at this college from your perspective?
Well, I think that's DJ just illustrated what it means. The whole point of this is to, create a climate here at Western that's exciting for other students. One of the dilemmas we face into that is making sure those high school students come right to college after they graduate. And, before we had athletics, it was quite a chore, to convince them this was an exciting and a fun place, and now they see these articles in the paper and all through the season, DJ's team is, right sometimes on the front page, and I think that really creates a different climate when we're out there doing recruiting and telling the students this is a great place to be. Our numbers are way up, our full-time numbers, which means the rate of graduation's up, and so athletics has had a tremendous positive effect on academics, and that's exactly the point. DJ's a terrific coach on the field and off the field. My favorite statistic about him is that when he was in the Junior College World Series, he was the only team in the World Series who also made academic All-American for the NJCAA, and that's an amazing accomplishment. I mean, to be good in one area is one thing, but to get both of those covered on a national level, that's really fantastic.
In fact, 6 consecutive semesters of All-American work, and let us not forget 2008 Coach of the Year.
Thank you.
Well deserved. In my opinion, should have been 3 years running, but they finally agreed with me, so that's great. Absolutely.
Exactly. So how do you do it, Coach? I mean, what were your goals? I mean, what makes your team so special where you've got kids from not only all over the state but the western region wanting to come here, and why are all these pro teams coming here first, even before Nevada?
Well, I think
University of
the
Nevada.
most important thing a head coach does is select his coaching staff. And I've been lucky enough to work with the same 3 coaches for all 4 years now. And they're people that share the same values of character and education above baseball. And that makes it really easy for us to send a unified message. The second thing that we did is we went out and tried to recruit people that were going to live up to our expectations, not just on the field, but in the classroom and away from the baseball field and away from school in the community. And we just haven't ever sacrificed winning a ball game or recruiting a better player for recruiting a better person. And I just feel really fortunate to coach these kids because there's a lot of days they're teaching me, and I feel very motivated and uplifted, being around some of these guys like Kyle Starrett and Josh Moody, and the list is 15 long.
Exactly.
Brett Moravec and Mike Long. We have 10 different players of over a 3.5 GPA. So these players are really, they're better students than I was, they're better players than I was, in a lot of cases they're better people than I was. And that makes my job fun, to be around those types of people. So I think, John frequently gives me credit for our academic performance, but really it comes down to the students working hard. And it's not easy, I'll tell you what, because, a lot of times they're forced to go to class at night, and it's after long, hard practices, and they go, and they get the job done, and they study hard, and they make a lot of sacrifices.
In fact, that's your motto: work hard, play hard, study hard, something like that. And we're going to talk more about that and how we raise money for athletics in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to Campus Chat. We're talking with John Kinkella, the Athletic Director and Dean of Student Services for WNC, and we're also talking to head baseball coach DJ Whittemore, and we're just talking about the ethics and the character and everything that you've established and your coaches have established for the baseball team. Quickly, can you give us what does the 2009 season look like?
Well, it looks very bright. We have a lot of good players back. We have some of the best hitters in the conference returning. In fact, our 1, 2, 3, and 4 hitters from last year's team and our number 1 and number 2 pitchers are back. I'm very excited about the freshman class pitchers. I think that they can continue the excellence we've had on the mound. I feel like that we have a chance to have one of the best pitching staffs in the country. I feel like by the end of the year, we should probably have as good a team as anybody in the country. There's obvious challenges to coaching, where it's cold, and it makes for some slow starts because we don't always get to practice as much as other teams, and we play so many of our games on the road in the early season, which makes it difficult. For instance, last season we started 11-14 and finished 24-4.
That makes a huge difference. Huh?
Yeah, this year we've got 28 of our first 32 games on the road. So it'll be a challenge in the early going, no matter how good a team we have. But I feel like the talent's there to make a run for the Scenic West Championship.
Great, that's excellent. Now, John, we know we have to fundraise, and can you tell us a little bit about the Adam Silver event coming up? Do you know much about that, or?
Right. Each year we have an athletic fundraiser to contribute to the athletics program. In Nevada, we're responsible for privately fundraising a lot of our funds for athletics. And again, this goes directly to the students who are achieving on the field and in the classroom. And so it's an investment we hope the community will make in these young people's lives, because the ripple effect is really positive. The dollars that are given to athletics really spread out throughout the whole college and have that real positive effect I talked about.
Yeah. Now, Adam Silver is the Deputy Commissioner of the National Basketball Association. He'll be coming January 16th to the Pepper Mill for our 6th annual fundraiser. And DJ, you've lined up someone special to introduce Mr. Silver.
Yeah, David Kahn he's actually the president of the Reno Bighorns, the new D-League basketball team in Reno that's going to open this season. I think actually the first practice might be tonight at Carson High School.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Open to the public. So David owns several teams in that league, I think a minimum of 4, at least 4. And the great thing for us is he's very active in the Reno community and looking forward to developing some strong ties here. But he's also best friends with Adam Silver. So he's excited about making that introduction, and I think it's a great opportunity for him to introduce him, he and his team to our group of, supporters, and also introduce a good friend of his.
Yeah, I was encouraged when DJ contacted Mr. Kahn. He said that Adam Silver was just brilliant, right?
Yeah. He said he's definitely the next in line to be the commissioner of the NBA when David Stern steps down. And, he's just someone who's very highly regarded in a lot of different respects.
Yeah, so we're lucky to have him. His sister, Ann Silver, is on the Western Nevada College Foundation Board, and it was through that connection that we were able to get Adam. Tickets are $100. Table of 8 is $700. You can call our office. Number will probably be at the bottom. And so you can come help ensure that baseball and softball, our new women's sport,
That's right,
has a future at Western Nevada College. So let's talk real quickly about the Spartan 300.
Spartan 300 is a brilliant idea by you, Elaine Jesse.
Thank you. Was that in the script somewhere? Yeah.
to save athletics. And really that's what it's come down to, is with the state budget cut and the difficult climate and the trouble we've had privately funding these programs, the very existence of programs are in jeopardy. And the Spartan 300, we think, is a way that we can save the program. And we're looking for 300 people or companies that will make a pledge to donate $100 a month for 5 years. A total donation of $6,000 over 5 years could be payable $1,200 a year in one lump sum of $6,000 up front, or $100 a month. It's automatically deducted from your checking account or a credit card, or you can write a check or make cash donations. So currently we're over 40, and we're on our way to 300, and when we get to 300, then we're going to sleep easier at night knowing that the program's going to be here not only next year but in the years to come.
Exactly, because you hear with all the budget cuts, there have been some people who say, well, you ought to cut athletics, and then I'm thinking, well, yeah, let's cut our full-time, first-time degree seekers down by 50% too. And so if we can get people who believe in that athletic experience for Nevada kids and for just this community, this is a relatively painless way to do it. $100 a month. You get your name on a big Spartan shield engraved. Also, season tickets each year to the baseball. There's some other perks too. I just can't. I don't remember them all.
I think it's just the self-satisfaction and knowing that you're making a difference.
Yeah, it is, and it does.
Not in the community, not in just the school, in the players' lives as well.
Right.
And, you know, Kyle Sterrett signed a $34,000 a year scholarship yesterday. That's amazing, and he wouldn't have had that opportunity if it wasn't for the people that have already been so generous and worked so hard to give these players a chance to do that. So, you know, I'm thankful for everything that we've had and all the opportunities that we've had, and we hope that we've been able to make the most of them, but we do need help.
You need help. I know. So, John, the quick story about Yarrington and the power of athletics, like at the Yarrington High School. Before you'd have 6 kids show up, and now you have...
Yeah, it's a good summary of the value of athletics is we would go out to all the high schools in our service area, and some we had a lot of students, but we'd go down to Yarrington and we'd have 5 or 6 students show up. And then DJ had his run for the NJCAA College World Series, and we went down there that year in the spring. We had 100 students show up in the auditorium. So, you know, we're really, I think like Kennedy said, let the word go forth from this time and place. Well, that's what's happened. The word's gotten out through athletics to the students, and they're coming here.
Right. So it's not really just about the student that's playing baseball or softball. No. It's about encouraging those, high school students who normally wouldn't go on to college. And we need that if we want to change the state, change the culture, the sociological structure of this state. We need higher education. We need a good educational system. So first game this spring is when?
The first home game is the 6th of March, and we play the College of Southern Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously been a natural rivalry for us, and they were the Scenic West Conference champions last year. They beat us by a game, and then they beat us in the regional championship as well. So we have a lot of respect for their program, and certainly we hope we get a great crowd. And March 6th, hopefully the sun's shining and there's a great opportunity to catch some baseball. We'll have already played 20 games on the road before that, but that's our first home game.
Yeah, that's great. That's helping you up a little bit too, I think. Well, thanks, John. Thanks,
Thank
DJ.
You.
Really appreciate it. Don't
you.
forget Adam Silver, January 16th. Tickets at the Foundation office, and the Spartan 300 can be found on our website. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Campus Chat. Our final guest for this segment is Josh Fleming, and he is an English professor and also coordinator of the Academic Skills Center on the Carson campus. So welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
Josh, you've done a great job with the Academic Skills Center. What it does is why don't you tell me what happens at the Academic Skills Center?
It's a tutoring center. We call it an Academic Skills Center because we think that that more goes on there than just tutoring, and just more than just tutoring in specific subjects. Our tutors try to impart study skills as well. But basically, we provide tutoring and a space for group study. We provide it 6 days a week, and it's a wonderful resource.
It is a wonderful resource. In fact, you were just talking to Coach Whittemore about how some of the baseball players are, in an online class you teach, or just...
They're in a traditional class I teach, and then they frequent the Skills Center every day. I see them in there. I have a partition in my office, and so I have a glass wall, so I see them out there all the time. So Either they like the place or they're stalking me. I'm not sure, but they take advantage of it all the time.
That's great. So how has that center grown since you've taken it over?
Well, we've done a few things. In terms of numbers, we've doubled the usage of the center. So in the past, 5,000 or 6,000 hours worth of usage across the year for students, and now about 10,000 to 12,000.
Why do you think accounts for that? More hours?
We're open the same hours. I'm trying to provide a more consistent service, and in terms of that there's always one tutor on for the most part during any open hours. So when a student drops in, there's someone there. Maybe it's not a tutor in the student's desired subject, but it's someone who can meet and greet and refer that student to the appropriate tutor. Also, and this is just a practical thing, and part of the reason I'm here is the advertising effort. We have banners, schedules everywhere. We've also expanded our tutoring in the Douglas area, and we've expanded to the online arena as well. We offer online writing tutoring. And tried to increase support to the outlying areas, Fernley, Hawthorne, just if ever they have a tutoring need, we try to provide it.
Oh, that's excellent. Now, can a student just drop in, or is it if that?
They can drop in, they can make an appointment, but appointments aren't required. I recommend that some students come in during less busy hours, so they can get if they want more one-on-one service. For writing, appointments are recommended. For math, oftentimes it ends up being a group session. So, but we have no real strict rules on appointments.
Now, you may not be expecting this question, but what's the number one study skill? If you could give some advice to someone, what would be the number one study skill that they should employ?
Discipline. The ability to do what you don't want to do because you know you have to do it.
Oh my God, sounds like life.
Yes,
doesn't it?
and
oh
on the other side of that, on the other side of discipline is enthusiasm. That is the willingness, even if you're not interested in the subject, pretend to be for the moment, and it will carry you through. Seek out support, make it interesting for you in some way, and there's a bunch of strategies to get there.
Right, because you have to, if you're getting a degree, you have to take some core classes. You may not excel or even like those core classes, but you have to take them.
And the dread often, just the fear and stress about your ability to do well can be overpowering for students. And really, I see students all the time whose stress levels are so high that it just ruins their ability to do well in a class.
So you help them you can help them at the center to kind of overcome that.
Yeah, and just working with other students, making the learning experience more positive, giving them some skills. The center is not just about helping people who are failing in a class, but also helping people who are doing well excel. So there's a nice mixture of students, and I think people learn from each other, tutors learn from students, and back and forth. It's just a really good atmosphere.
Really good atmosphere, collaborative learning.
Yeah, I mean, you had DJ in here, and there's something that happens in a team environment, whether it be on the field or in the academic arena as well. And so in a classroom, students are often, it's just the student being the passive recipient of information from the instructor. No matter how well you try to organize a classroom, it ends like that sometimes. And the Skill Center is a place where students can interact with each other and bounce ideas back and forth.
That's great. Now you teach, there's been a great growth at the college in web classes or online classes, and you're teaching quite a few of those, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm never at a lack for head count in my classes, especially with gas prices, skyrocketing.
They're plummeting now.
Yeah, I know, and maybe my head count will diminish, but I don't think so.
But how do they benefit? What's different about an online class, do you think? I think they're pretty tough, actually.
Well, I think it depends on the class, I think that students, again, discipline and enthusiasm, there's a lot of resources at the college to help students take part in online classes. So I think that all my classes are designed for the first-time online student, and there's tons of resources. There's a peer mentor in my class who helps students with the basic mechanics the school offers, a tech help person, and there's just generally a cooperative atmosphere, students helping other students, and so I don't find that I always hear from students that they didn't anticipate having so much help, and it's really there for them.
So do you need a textbook online class typically?
We have a textbook for the simple reason I think people have different internet speeds, and so I don't want them just constantly staring at the screen and be able to do it elsewhere. Plus, people have such varied lives, that kids running here and there,
right.
that I know that, and I know how difficult it is. So sometimes sneaking away with a book is necessary.
So are you teaching English 101 online? What are you teaching? What classes are you
English
teaching?
101. I also teach Core Humanities 202, and which is cross-listed with a World Literature class. And these classes take advantage of the online environment. They're not, while we do use a textbook, students actively go out into on the internet and bring things back for other students. For example, I have what is my latest project?
I know you've done some really cool stuff. I know that.
We have all the latest uses of satire during the political season, whether it be Tina Fey on Saturday Night Live, and
I can see Russia from my home.
Yes, and Sarah Palin. You take that very current example and you bring that into the classroom and have students bring clips and we talk about it. But then for in my 202 class, we talk about satire and the Enlightenment and how this wonderful community existed to appreciate it. And in the online environment, it exists as well, whether through YouTube or other sources. And so it's neat to have that environment.
So how does a person get a hold of you if they want to learn more about online courses, or perhaps if they're a current student and they want to...
They can email me. They can drop by my office here, Bristol Cone 330 at the campus, or they can call me up.
Okay, and your phone number is?
445-4257.
4257. Okay, great. So thank you so much, Josh, for being our guest today. We really appreciate it. Doing a great job.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this edition of Campus Chat. We'll see you next month.
This has been Campus Chat, a monthly program from Western Nevada College. Campus Chat is made possible by the Western Nevada College Foundation.